When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast with a heartache deep down in its butthole.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get the paddles out for that, though, sometimes, because it's, sometimes it stops. You've got to
resuscitate your asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today, coochie coochie coo.
Tee-hee. We're going to talk about tickling.
Talk about tickling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did we do this? Whose fault is this?
We don't remember, but potentially me.
Yeah. I feel like it was you. In my heart, it was you.
Okay. That's fair. It was on our idea list. No one requested it. No one wants this, but
no one wants this.
But someone out there is into tickling is going to be real happy about this.
Yeah, I think so. This is for you, unsung hero.
Yeah. But first,
yes, what?
I have some feedback that I wanted to read.
Oh God, wait, do they call me a bad person?
No one's, but they do.
Well, now I'm not interested.
They do validate me, which is what I like in feedback. This is from Holly. Holly said, I saw these Selena Gomez Oreos at the grocery store, and now I have the answer to Gayish Podcast episode 188. Yes, Selena is A-list. And then there's a picture of Oreos with Selena Gomez's name on them. Selena Gomez has Oreos. Okay. So I agree. This is more evidence in my column that Selena Gomez is in fact A-list.
Okay. Because, putting your face on carbs does not an A-list celebrity make. So
they're not going to put a B-list celebrity on Oreos. They're only going to put A-list.
It happens all the time.
That's because they have like sports people that other people care about that I don't.
All right. Well, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Did you know that Oreos are vegan? That's my distract you with facts thing.
They are?
Yeah.
No cows were harmed in the making of the cream filling?
Nope. So Selena Gomez, you can keep listening to her and be responsible.
Listening to Selena Gomez is also vegan.
Right. Yeah. She
doesn't kill any animals in the making of her music.
Yeah. Allegedly, as far as we know. Well, I'm glad that you're vindicated, Kyle. I don't think that changes my opinion, but hey.
Nothing will. At this point, you're just doing it to be annoying, and it's working.
Get your Team Kyle, Team Mike t-shirts at the merch store. gayishpodcast.com/merch.
Yep.
But thank you for the feedback. As always. If you want to tell us things that we'll listen to, then send an email or something.
Yeah.
And now, the news.
Shut your mouth hole. It's time for your ear holes. News.
News the first, Kyle.
Yeah.
Justin Heath Smith, the adult film performer known professionally as Austin Wolf, pleaded guilty on Friday in a Manhattan federal courtroom to a felony charge of enticing a 15-year-old boy to engage in sex. Smith, who is 44, so, same girl, entered the plea before U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer nearly a year after his arrest, following an FBI investigation because, that's what they need to be spending their time on. But anyway, they say that he used electronic communications, Grindr, to lure a minor to New York City for sexual activity, and that he acted in concert with another adult and knowingly crossed a legal threshold meant to protect minors from predatory conduct. I'm pretty sure I've seen his porn before.
And he's always fucking the youngest looking, twinkiest little boys. So this is not a surprise.
Not a surprise. Like, he had a type, and that type needed to be more older than the type that he was typing.
Yep, exactly.
As part of the plea agreement, he consented to the forfeiture of more than 24 electronic devices seized from his home. Who has 24
Holy
devices?
Shit. I can barely keep up with the people messaging me on one phone.
How many burner phones do you need, Austin?
Damn, that's a lot. How do you check all those? What you just like? Checking your text messages is like an hour-long ordeal. Jesus Christ. That's more shocking than the child porn thing.
But apparently they found hundreds of videos of child sexual abuse material, including content involving prepubescent children and infants. Yeah, not great. So he will face a federal prison guideline that starts from a high baseline for crimes involving the sexual exploitation of minors. And he may be ordered to pay a $5,000 penalty under a federal anti-trafficking law that supports services for survivors. This just is my continuing series of gay people can be terrible too.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. We say this a lot, that just because you're gay does not mean you're a good person. We have plenty of terrible gay people. The problem is that the right uses our bad apples as examples of why gay people in general are terrible, where I can find lots of terrible straight people, but they don't. Yeah. They don't feel like those represent all straight people. But, when it's a gay person, they represent all gay people.
I also feel like, Kyle, we're demonstrating good behavior in a way because people on the right seem incapable of self-criticism. Like it's okay. You can say that sometimes your orange shitbag hero makes mistakes sometimes. It's okay to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Christians can be bad too sometimes. It's okay to say that. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, great. News the second?
Yeah.
News the second. So this was a hard one this week. So the U.S. Supreme Court in U.S. versus Scrimeti on Wednesday ruled that Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for transgender minors could stand. So the court ruled 6-3 to uphold the ban, saying that Tennessee's law did not discriminate on the basis of gender identity, but simply banned medical procedures to treat certain conditions, such as gender dysphoria, which impacts everybody, in people under 18. So they were looking specifically at whether the law in Tennessee was specifically gender identity discrimination and therefore illegal under several statutes now, but also Supreme Court precedent about discrimination on the basis of sex. So first of all, it's bad. It's bad. There are lots of
sucks.
Kids that need gender affirming care in the state of Tennessee and like 20 other states that are wrapped up into the same fucking case. It means that they're going to have to travel to other states to receive the care that they need.
The medically recommended care, like the care that a doctor has decided is medically necessary for this child, they don't like. The Supreme Court has decided they're smarter than the doctors and the medical organizations that tell us what's recommended. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
The craziest thing though is 24 phones. Jesus Christ.
Right?
How do you have that many? Okay. I'm still not going to be able to get over
apparently
that
also included like iPads and hard drives and like stuff like that. But still 24 devices. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Anyway, sorry, trans youth. Back to that.
The Kentucky Health Justice Network Health Director Oliver Hall said, quote, "It's based on junk science and fear. Mm-hmm. It will have lasting implications that will inevitably touch all of our lives in profoundly negative ways, but it will not stop trans youth from transitioning, and it will not stop those of us committed to showing up for trans youth from continuing to show up and get them the care they need." Here's the thing, though, Kyle. Yeah. The number one example of gender-affirming care is actually the removal of breast tissue from cisgender male boys who have gynecomastia. And, that something, hormone happens and a cisgendered boy will get breast tissue and want to have that removed because it's incongruent with their gender identity. And that's the number one reason. That's now potentially banned in the state of Tennessee and all of these other fucking states. So, anyway, it's just wild. So, of course, then a bunch of blue states are like, fuck this. We're not going to listen. But that's okay because this leaves it up to the states. But it is shitty for people who live in red states that suck. But that does not, at least right now, change the situation for people living in states that are on board. And the fight goes on, I guess. I don't know. I'm so sorry, trans people, and I don't know. Hang in there. The words. I don't know what to say. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they're hopefully having supportive outlets to be around, to listen to, media, the people that tell them that they support them. Like, that's the most we can do. It feels very powerless to try to be an ally to trans people right now. But we got to keep being vocal and critical and marching and giving our money and doing whatever we can.
Yeah. I genuinely want to know how people can sleep at night knowing that their entire position is just based on hurting people that they think is less than.
Yeah.
Whether that's brown people or trans people or gay people or disabled folks. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Okay, great. Made it sad. So news the third, news the last.
Yeah, everything's bad and you should feel bad today.
Everything's bad and you should feel bad today. Gina Ortiz Jones, a lesbian and military vet who served in President Joe Biden's administration, has been elected mayor of San Antonio.
San Antonio is like one of the gayest places in Texas. If I remember from some episode we did at some point where I read Gayta, San Antonio, or like there, it had the like one of the highest percentages of LGBT parents or something like that. Anyway, San Antonio is gayer than you'd expect.
Gayer than you would expect. It is the second largest city in Texas, the seventh largest city in the United States. Jones beat Rolando Pablos, a former state secretary of state, in a runoff election on Saturday. The margin was 54-45, according to Ballotpedia. They advanced to the runoff because no candidate out of 27 candidates that ran in the May 3rd general election received a majority of the vote.
That's more than the number of devices that Austin Wolf had.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, imagine if every single one of those kiddie porn containing devices was running for mayor. The current mayor, Ron Nierenberg, could not run again due to term limits. They're officially nonpartisan positions, but this election was partisan in practice because she emphasized her affiliation with the Democratic Party. And Pablos, who was elected Secretary of State as a Republican, which is a partisan race, highlighted his ties to leading Republicans like Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Anyway, I just we got to find those little glimmers of hope, Kyle. And if a lesbian of color can be mayor of a city in Texas, that's pretty fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you can find some like little hopeful news stories in all the trash that is life these days. So thank you.
I try real hard. It doesn't always work out.
It doesn't. Not every week can have a glimmer of hope, but this week it did, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's the news.
Speaking of glimmers of hope, I want to thank our Patreon members. Thank you to new Patreon member Max. Oh, you knew, Max, that I was going to fuck this up.
Great.
Max, Max, I gave up after the first syllable. Kozhevnikovi.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to go with that.
Bless you.
If you want ad-free episodes a day early, if you want me to fuck up your name, if you want to use Mike's hole, if you want to get a signed, if you want a signed t-shirt, then if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/gayish podcast.
Do it.
Do it.
Do you want to talk about tickling?
Yeah, let's talk about tickling. Are you excited at all to talk about tickling or worried, or how are you feeling?
Here's the thing, Kyle.
Yeah.
I hate being tickled. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk a lot about tickling today, and I'm going to try not to get all like ants in my pants about it. And I don't know. How do you feel about it? You seem like maybe you're just not ticklish.
Oh, no, I'm ticklish, but I'm an adult man that's almost 40. So no one has tried to tickle me in years. I don't, like people are talking about like where specifically they're ticklish and how they're ticklish. And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm an adult. No one's tickled. No one tickles me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lamenting that fact. I'm totally fine. Please don't tickle me. If you meet Mike or I on the street and you say, I recognize you from Gayish, please don't tickle us.
No tickling. No.
Why don't you like tickling? You seemed pretty adamant about that.
There's a couple of things that I really react like, not violently, but that I like have a strong reaction to in the negative. And one is being tickled.
Okay.
Another is water balloons. I do not like water balloons or water fights.
Huh.
And I think in both cases, it's about like, I don't want someone to like destroy my sense of self-control or something. It's like I can't help but react the way that they want me to react when they're tickling me. And I hate that.
It's like some control shit.
It's some control shit. Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with being out of control, Mike? What's wrong with not being totally in control of your faculties?
Daddy will know I'm gay.
What? Wait, what?
That's where my brain went. Like if you like, being in the closet is all about preserving a sense of control over, what happens, and being able to control your body and your reactions to things, and that ruins that. I don't know if I might be just making shit up. Therapy's great, everybody, but I don't know. You don't. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Are you the person that talked about being really worried about being put under anesthesia because you'd be afraid if you come out, like when you're in the closet, when you come out of it, that you'd come out accidentally? Absolutely.
Like all of those like rumors. I don't think YouTube was a thing when I first started worrying about this, but like that people were like, yeah, when you come out of anesthesia, you'll say all kinds of crazy shit. And I was worried that like I was going to confess my gayness while like totally out of my faculties. I was legit worried about that.
Sorry, your faculties.
My faculties, exactly. Yes. It turns out I just like talked about how the ceiling looked like a submarine and told everybody the story of one time my family was on one. I was like, "What the fuck, Mike? What's your deal?"
You were on a submarine?
Yeah, one time, long time ago.
Huh? Was it yellow?
Yeah, it was not yellow. We did sing though.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Okay. Yeah, I don't particularly like being tickled, but I don't think it's about the control thing. I think it's just kind of weird. Like, don't touch me, Yeah,
you do have a personal space bubble that is maybe a little more sensitive than everybody else's.
Yeah. Don't touch me. I'm going to tell you some Urban Dictionary definitions containing the word tickle.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, there's dick tickler, which is slang for mustache.
What?
There's also
this is so weird. Like, wait, the implication there is that people who have mustaches are gay, or that people who have mustaches are into penises.
I mean, yeah. If you have a mustache these days, I assume you're probably gay.
Okay.
Like 90% of people who have mustaches are gay. That's the gayta I have for this week's episode.
Okay, great.
Roughly 90%.
Who did this study, Kyle? What
this study was done by Kyle's Grindr survey of men's weird hairstyle. I don't. Do you like mustaches?
Well, they're either gay or cops or porque no los dos, I guess.
Oh, gay cops. I'm not a fan of mustaches. I don't think they look good on people, and there's this big mustache trend that has seemed to like hold a grip on our society right now. And I don't know why it's still around. Anyway.
By that, you mean just a mustache, right?
Right. Like, well, a mustache is just a mustache. Like you can't, if it's more than a mustache, then it's called something else, like a beard or a goatee.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm on board. I think I agree with you. Like my boyfriend has, facial hair,
a goatee, right?
Yeah, I would call it that. Yeah, but like for the longest time, we called him Mustache Boyfriend because he had not only a goatee, but he had like long like handlebars, and So I don't know. I don't know where mustache ends and like goatee begins, but
when you have bottom hair.
Right. But like when he had handlebars, you wouldn't say that was, you would still say that was just a goatee.
No, that was a mustache.
But he also had the chin part.
Oh, he had chin part too? I don't remember that then.
All right. See, because you were so like dazzled by the handlebars.
The mustache part overwhelmed me.
Great. Okay.
Similarly, there's something called the clit tickler, which is also a mustache, but the definition is hair grown on a male above the lip. Like, why would you call it that? That's just a mustache. Why did you define
I have
mustache?
hair above my lip. It's called my hair.
You're pointing to the hair on your head, which clearly is not what they mean. The next word is booty tickled, which is not fully butthurt, to be slightly offended.
Okay. That's way too cute to be what that means.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Dude,
think
I'm not mad. I'm just booty tickled. Like that's not.
Yeah. That you're right. That's too adorable to mean slightly offended. There's Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah. Okay.
The act of ejaculating in an asleep person's hand, then tickling their face so they rub the semen on their own face.
That's a pretty wild. Okay. I feel like that's called something else, or is that poop, not jizz?
Oh.
When you're trying to get somebody to slap their own face with
poop. I think usually you use like shaving cream.
Okay, or shaving cream. That's probably the least offensive of all of the options.
Yeah.
or something delicious like Cool Whip. Then it's all okay.
Oh, yum. Yeah, don't tickle me if you see me, but do put Cool Whip in my hand. That'd be great. There's tickle fuck, the act of tickling a person until they reach climax.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but apparently we're
gonna talk more about it. Yes, for sure. There's more to come. Expect more. Spell come. There's slap and tickle, which slap and tickle means foreplay, not actual sex. Well, it does in England anyway. That was the definition.
Slap and tickle.
Slap and tickle apparently mean this one is a real thing that they do say in England, and it means foreplay.
Really, don't do either of those things to me, especially if you're expecting sexy time.
Oh, no, just do one of those to me.
Slap you.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. For Kyle, foreplay is the slap and spit.
Slap and spit, yes. All good things, but not too hard. I don't want you to like leave a handprint across my face.
Yeah, just you need to know that you're a bad boy and that not to behave worse.
Yeah. I need to know that I'm a dumb faggot and all I am is a hole. Or whatever. You just whatever,
Yeah.
There's the Ohio butthole tickling bandit.
Oh my God.
A man from Ohio who represents the state who goes around and mugs people.
Like it's an elected position.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's nonpartisan, but it's every 6 years. They elect.
I hear a lesbian of color was just elected in this position. We're very proud. A man from Ohio who represents the state who goes around and mugs people by tickling their assholes so much that they shit on his hand, and he steals it and gives it to the government for testing. This phrase, the Ohio butthole tickling bandit, was defined 4 separate times, and this definition that I read had 298 upvotes.
Wow.
So this is a thing. I don't understand this or what it means or why it's in Urban Dictionary, but it has to be from something, or there's something I'm missing. I don't know.
Did any of the other definitions make any sense at all?
They were all in this similar vein. Also, I did this prep work a while ago, so I don't remember.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. If it's an elected official, it's an elected official.
Can't help it. Ohio, it would be Ohio. That's a good choice of state for this.
Ohio is a vibe.
Yeah. Lastly is Tickle-ee. a person who enjoys being tickled, usually called a lee for short. Did you run across this when you? Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yep. Mike, they're called lers and lees.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
You can't say no to this. It's
I
what they are.
this.
It's what they're called. Yeah, Tickle is called a lee for short. This could be for sexual pleasure or something just fun and innocent.
Okay. Well, all right.
All right. We're going to talk again more about lers and lees in a little bit.
That just sounds like Dr. Seuss, you know?
That's true. The big brown lure tickled the short yellow lee.
One day all of the lees will be gone and the lures will only have each other. Okay. Is that it? What?
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Well, Urban Dictionary, bless you, and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah. Well, this is a weird one. This is a weird section. It's okay.
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about the history of tickling, Kyle, but not really.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, you can't tickle yourself, Kyle.
That's true. Unless you have like schizophrenia or something.
Is that true?
I think what group of people can tickle themselves?
That's really, that's super crazy.
That's offensive word.
Well, that's true. That's true. So basically it's because your cerebellum, that tickling, the response to tickling is a reflex that requires surprise. And so when your cerebellum, when you're the one doing it and you know that it's coming, then it isn't surprising. And you can't anticipate the sensation. And so then it decreases or completely eliminates the sensation.
Sorry, I Googled this to make sure. And yes, it says most people cannot tickle themselves. However, some individuals with schizophrenia may be able to do so, possibly because they are less aware of the consequences of their movements.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. So if you can tickle yourself, go see a doctor because you are schizophrenic.
Yeah. I'm not tickling myself. My fucking left arm, who is an asshole, is doing it.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's two kinds of tickling, which that's, I think, pretty wild. Kinesmesis is one, which is like that's known as the moving itch. Are you already going to do this?
I had this under my other section so no, I was not going to talk about it.
Okay. That's just like a mildly annoying sensation. That's like a bug crawling on you or somebody like lightly brushing against you. It tickles, or we call that tickling, but it's not the same thing as, not making this word up, gargalesis, which I can't remember the last time I got gargalesis. But gargalesis is a harsher, deeper pressure. Different parts of your body are more sensitive than others to it. And it also quite often, and in some people always, provokes laughter.
Yeah. Gargalesis is like tickle classic. Like your run of the mill, what you expect. Someone goes Gucci Gucci goo and tickles you, kind of tickling.
Right. Exactly. So the thing that's interesting is the science nerds are sort of unclear whether this is just like a human thing, humans and other primates, or if there are other mammals that this is also true for.
Ooh, I'm going to talk in the Patreon segment about rat tickling.
Rat tickling. Okay.
Yes. So more to come on that.
Okay. Great. So the tickle sensation comes from nerve fibers that are associated with both pain and touch. And part of the reason that we know that is that there's the whole thing about, like, if you have had a limb amputated, that you can have phantom limb syndrome. Mm-hmm. And that not only can you feel your non-existent limb, but sometimes it also tickles as if it is being tickled.
Oh,
and
that's a mind fuck.
It's all related to the same like mechanism. So let's see, you're going to talk about gayta later, so I'm going to skip a lot of this, assuming that you're going to say it, and if you don't say it, then I'll come back to it.
Okay. I'm talking about gayta for tickle fetish. So, yeah.
Okay. So Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, had thoughts about tickling. Like, we've been talking about tickling for a long time, and like, why the fuck? Like, what is happening? And his whole thing, and a lot of theorists since then, think that it is just about bonding, that tickling is a bonding mechanism between friends, and that it's some kind of special intimacy, that tickling is its most pleasurable when it's between people who trust each other. Basically, that like if a stranger comes up and tickles you, it's not going to tickle, you're going to kill a motherfucker.
Yeah, just don't tickle me, strangers. Can you imagine a stranger that walks up to you and starts tickling you? Like, that
I'm sure somebody would be into that, though.
I'm sure they would. Also, this is all going to tie together because my Ask Reddit is about friends tickling each other. So, like, it all ties together, Mike.
Wow, this is amazing.
It's like we planned this episode.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Let's see. So there's this guy named Donald Black who may or may not have been gay. I think probably, but maybe not. But he, in 1984, he's a psychiatrist, and he said that he was trying to make the argument that the ticklish parts of our bodies are also the most vulnerable in combat. That we want to guard those areas, and that's why they're ticklish. And that isn't necessarily totally incompatible with the idea that it's about bonding, because like when kids fight each other, when they play fight, they're learning how to guard their sensitive areas in a safe, trusting environment.
Are my armpits the area that's weakest in battle? I don't know that I agree with this. I don't know that I'm on board with this theory.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with this either.
Okay.
So they say that the most ticklish areas in decreasing order. What do you think is the most ticklish, Kyle?
Armpits.
Yeah, that's number 2.
Oh, what? Maybe the top of your head? Your feet. Your feet.
I'm learning things about you now. The top of your head is ticklish. The most ticklish areas in decreasing order are soles of your feet.
Yeah.
Armpits.
Yeah.
Neck.
Oh.
Do you want to keep guessing? There's 2 more.
Your belly.
I'm going to give it to you. Ribs.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Your testicles.
Under your chin.
Oh. I don't know that anyone would ever know if your testicles are ticklish. Who's ever tried that?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you can't tickle yourself. So I've spent a lot of time with my balls, but I can't tickle them. So
yeah, you're not schizophrenic, so that's ideal.
I mean, as far as you know, or anyone else in here. So apparently, palms are very sensitive to touch, but your feet are more ticklish. There's a couple of people who've studied that. People on the autism spectrum tend to perceive more touching as ticklish than neurotypical individuals. They're more ticklish in general as a category of people. And there's still tickling research that's happening today. There's a Swedish lab where participants put their feet through holes in a plate and get tickled by robot sticks to ensure consistent scientific measurement.
What's a robot stick?
Like just like a stick in the robot hand that does the tickling.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that was going to be a euphemism for a robot's dick.
Oh, yeah. Data, give it to me. So, okay. I also said that in this segment, I was going to talk about tickle torture because we've known about tickling for a long ass time, obviously, like since, before history, before things were being written down. But people also realized that like too much tickling is real bad, and that some people it's real bad real soon. And that even sometimes a panic reflex can happen instead of a pleasure response, which I experienced that as a kid. I had a cousin who would hold me down and tickle me, and I would start to panic. Like,
is that where your dislike of tickle started?
Almost certainly. Also, he made me gay, so whatever. In an article, let's see. So in ancient Japan, a criminal punishment could be private punishment, shikei, and one kind of punishment that was a private punishment was kusuguri zeme, which is just tickle torture. So they'd be like, you stole something, so you get tickle tortured for an hour.
Ugh. I mean, of the available options, it's probably not the worst form of I don't know. Being tickled a whole lot really sucks, but like, at least it's not being waterboarded. I don't know.
Well, yeah, okay. It could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be worse is all I'm saying.
The British Medical Journal wrote an article about European tortures and said that they used to have a torture called the goat's tongue, in which a goat a prisoner's feet was dipped in salt water and then clamped down and put in range of a goat who could then lick the salt water off of the feet of the person.
I saw this when I was doing tickling research, and I wonder if they named the goat.
Yeah. What's a good name for a goat that does that?
Frederick.
Okay.
Yeah, Frederick the goat.
Frederick the goat.
He's very ticklish.
Yeah. Well, he's doing the tickling.
He's the lure.
He's the lure. Yeah, the prisoner is the Lee.
Yep.
Let's see. I guess that's it. It's legit been used as a torture method, though, for things like interrogations, punishments, and to me, that's what tickling is, Kyle. It's just a big old torture. Don't do it.
I have read, in preparing for this, I didn't write any of it down, but that people have died from being tickled.
Yeah, that's maybe true. It might be apocryphal.
Oh. I saw multiple sources that talked about dying from tickling is real.
Yeah. It's probably true. The thing is, it's like if you have a heart attack while something is happening, was it the thing that killed you or was it the heart attack? Like, were these people that were completely healthy before they started being tickled or not? And how do you mash all of that together to come up with a root cause? But I don't know. I'm with you though.
Okay. I'm going to tell you some gayta.
Tell me some gayta, Kyle. People are into tickling and I don't get it. Go ahead.
We'll try to understand a little bit more about why this is called tickle fetishism, pleasure beyond playfulness. This is by Sarah Dagger and Shimpai Ishiyama in 2024. This is recent gayta. This is cutting edge tickling gayta. This was published in the Frontiers in Psychology, a peer reviewed open access academic journal.
Nice.
They recruited participants through an online questionnaire of 43 questions that were posted to Twitter, and a couple tickling influencers, 2 Japanese and 3 English-speaking tickling fetish influencers, responded and agreed to cooperate in the study, and they retweeted and pinned the tweet.
Okay.
So keep in mind that a lot of the people that replied to this, 719 people participated in this, and a lot of the people were recruited through tickling fetish Twitter accounts.
Know your audience, Kyle. Know your audience.
Know your audience. So we're understanding people with probably most people that like actually have a tickling fetish. The survey covered topics such as tickling preferences, ticklishness extent, tickling tools, tickling partners, the connection between tickling and sexuality.
Don't tickle my tool.
Don't tool my tickle. Okay. 77.4 reported being ticklish, which
that seems low to me.
Yeah, me too. I thought everyone was ticklish to some degree, but maybe not. Females tended to be more ticklish and preferred light tickling. As far as the tools that they use to tickle, 99.7 use their hands, fingers, or nails as the primary tool for tickling.
I mean, why pick something up if you already got what you need?
You already have the tool built. God gave it to you. Mm-hmm. He gave you 10 of them. Mm-hmm. But other tools included what?
No, this is funny.
Yeah. Okay. Other tools included feathers, tongues, and brushes.
I do not find tongues ticklish.
I think
that's not true. Hold on. Except when it's a pet. Now I'm realizing that maybe I just haven't had enough people lick me.
Do you want that to change?
For science, sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk to your boyfriend.
Yeah. Get that dick tickler. He does have a weirdly big tongue.
Oh,
we should use it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
As far as the roles, 35.8 identified as the ticklees or the lees.
The lees.
29.8 identified as ticklers.
The lers.
Or the lers, yep. And 34.4 expressed enjoyment for both roles.
Oh, verse ticklers.
Verse ticklers, yep. As far as gender, 76% of female respondents preferred to be tickled. So women are bottoms. Tickle bottoms.
Sure. Yeah.
Which I'm assuming that
there was a whole big article in the New York Times, I think it was the New York Times, about how straight people need to stop using the terms top and bottom because it's gay erasure.
Huh. Do straight people use the terms top and bottom?
Apparently more and more. Like it's been in the last couple of years, there's been this like weird increase in straight people referring to themselves as tops or bottoms. And that this obviously, uppity, angry queer wrote this article about stop saying that.
But what if I feel like that gives language to what is already happening. And if you're like a straight dude that wants to get pegged and you call yourself a bottom, that gives language to something that before it'd be hard to communicate to someone.
I think that this person's specific argument was that it needs to be about anal sex or it doesn't count. That you can't say a P in the V, that the P is the top and the V is the bottom. There's no A involved. That means stop it.
But we use top and bottom even when referring to oral sex.
I know.
Do you agree? Should straight people not use top and bottom? I don't think I agree with this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you think?
I see the point. I mean, like, I understand the, like, if top and bottom always meant gay people, and then now it no longer means gay people, it does seem like we've lost something. But I don't know.
I don't know that I guess if a straight dude, these days, if a straight dude is like, I'm a top, I'd be like, wait, what? Yeah. yeah. That would really throw me off. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm assuming that the lees are the bottoms in the situation. And I don't know if that's fair to equate the two, but that's just what I'm assuming. I don't know. More than 2/3 of participants reported that tickling holds a sexual connotation for them. And as far as where it started, 51% reported exposure to tickling scenes in television, such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Popeye, Kiki's Delivery Service. I don't know what that is. Lupin the Third. I don't know what that is either. And also social media contributed a significant factor to the development of a tickle fetish. 42.2 reported that childhood experiences of being tickled were the start. So this is a weird, if you're a child and you're tickling your friends, you might be giving them a tickle fetish. I don't know.
Oh, okay. We don't, Well, but also if you're like feeding them Jell-O against their will, you might be turning them into a food fetishist. Like, I don't think we can, like, who
everything
knows where
you
fetishes come
do,
from?
Everything you do for a child may be the start of a fetish for them. I never thought about that. Boy, being a parent is horrific.
Yeah, it really is. But also, also, if you have some like crazy intense fetish, congratulations. Like, we need to like stop mythologizing the fact that it exists or like where it came from. Just enjoy it. If tickling makes you come, great, good for you. Get tickled, girl.
But isn't it interesting to figure out where it came from?
Yeah, of course it is. I can't stop either.
Yeah. as far as the reason, this is trying to understand a little bit more about the people that have the fetish. The reason for the arousal for the Lees, 89.4% reported the physical sensation of being tickled and their bodily response as the primary reason for their arousal. 73.8% reported feelings of helplessness and submissiveness as the reason for their arousal.
Tickle me, daddy. Okay.
Tickle me daddy needs to be our next t-shirt. I love that. Okay. I've never seen that before. I love that. I don't want to wear it, but I want it to exist.
Yeah, don't tickle me. I want people around me to wear it.
Yeah, totally.
And get what they want.
72.4% reported that their arousal came from the anticipation of being tickled.
Yeah. I do like anticipation.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
For the lers, for the ticklers, 91.2% reported their arousal came from visually observing the ticklee's body reactions.
Sadists.
They like to see a squirm. 85.8% reported the sound of the ticklee's voice as their source of arousal.
What is that but just vocal squirming?
Oh, I can't help but think about the rats I'm going to talk about in the Patreon segment again, because
I'm so excited to hear about it.
85.8% reported their arousal came from the sense of power gained through tickling.
Yeah.
Again, this is like the Dom top kind of feeling. As far as their sexual interest, 55.8% of participants felt sexually aroused by BDSM acts other than tickling. 23.9% of participants have experienced orgasm with tickling alone.
I mean, that's impressive. Get it, girl. Like, that's fantastic.
But that seems rough if... Yeah. Okay. And lastly...
Finish that sentence. That seems rough if what?
If like tickling is a thing that gets you off, that seems like then you'd have to find... Like you'd have to put that in your Grindr profile, probably as your name, and you'd have to find people who are willing to do that. Like that, is there, I don't know, a tickler and tickly website, maybe on FetLife? I don't know. Like
my guess is that it's likely that that's not the only thing that can get somebody off. Now, maybe that's the only thing that can get them off, in which case that's a different row to hoe.
Yeah.
But like, if there's like a number of things and that's your favorite, that like maybe you lead with the other things. And then like, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, then they're going to do that for you. And then you can like work it out.
Would you do that for someone in a relationship? If they were like, being tickled is one of the main ways I come?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. But then I'm sort of a people pleaser. Like I genuinely enjoy the pleasure of the other person. That's sort of how I'm wired. So if there anything that I could do, whether I got anything out of it or not, that was going to make them into it, get them off, I think I'd be super into it. I don't know. Not you? No?
I don't know. I mean, at this point, the criteria I have for getting a boyfriend is like, you have to be alive and like above 18 and like somewhere I could take the bus to. Like my criteria is the things are getting crossed off the list quickly the older I get. So
your hinge filters are just dialed all the way one direction or the other.
It's just like anything, just whatever. Anyone who will date me is basically where I'm at. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my dating life. The last number I have is 88.1% expressed sexual satisfaction solely from tickling.
Solely from tickling.
But I think that means not that they only get sexual satisfaction from tickling. I think that means that they, from tickling alone, got sexual satisfaction.
Oh, I think that means that's the only thing that does it for them. That's interesting.
Oh, okay. No, the 88.1 is too high a percentage for that, I would think.
I mean, if it's from a Lur and Lee group, then who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know which way they mean that. The language is 88.1% expressed sexual satisfaction solely from tickling.
Mm-hmm. 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 Does that mean only or only?
I don't know. I don't know which way that means, but I assume that I'm right.
Great. Excellent.
Yep. With no available evidence, I assume I'm right.
Well,
the
but
Kyle Getz story.
I thought coming from Just Tickling was an earlier one.
Yeah, but this is express sexual satisfaction. 23.9% of participants have experienced orgasm with tickling alone.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Sometimes you come and it's like, that wasn't great.
But I wasn't being tickled.
Are you ready for this, Kyle?
I'm ready for this, Jelly.
We have to talk about Tickle Me Elmo.
Okay.
And not the Urban Dictionary bullshit sex act. What do you know? Do you have any idea where I'm going with this? Did you follow any of this story?
I mean, I just know it was like the hit toy for 1 year, one Christmas, and now every like toy that is the hit thing is like compared to Tickle Me Elmo. So like that's all I really know about it.
Okay. Well, the voice, or at least the most successful voice of Tickle Me Elmo, was Kevin Jeffrey Clash. And he is an American puppeteer, director, producer, best known for Elmo, but also performed puppets for Labyrinth, Dinosaurs, Ubi, and lots of Muppet productions for Jim Henson's operation. And so Elmo got super duper popular in 1996 for Tickle Me Elmo, which was an absolute craze in which like it was the toy of the Christmas that Christmas. And it retailed for $28.99, but apparently was selling on some sites on the early days of the internet for $1,500 around Christmas time.
Holy crap.
But yeah. Okay. So Tickle Me Elmo, the voice of Elmo on Sesame Street was this dude named Kevin Clash. And so let's see. He was married for 17 years, has a daughter who was born in 1993. And but in November of 2012, 23-year-old Sheldon Stevens alleged that he had been in a sexual relationship with Clash that began when Stevens was 16, which under New York law was a felony, whether consensual or not.
They found 24 devices in his home.
Right? Yeah, exactly. All of them were filled with puppet porn. Who knew?
Over, under, through.
Absolutely. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Oh, no.
That's my Grover, not my Elmo. I don't know if I have an Elmo.
Yeah, Elmo's too high. I can't do it because I'm sick. Okay.
Tickle me some more.
You're getting there.
That was more Mickey. Yeah, that was more Mickey than Elmo.
Yeah. So Sesame Street Workshop had initially been presented with this allegation in June of 2012 and of 2013, and its investigation found that it was unsubstantiated.
Okay.
Now, later, Clash acknowledged that he had been in a relationship with the accuser, but that the relationship was between two consenting adults, basically saying, no, he was older than he said that he was, which I don't think is a great defense.
That's, yeah.
Stevens later recanted his accusation, but 2 weeks later, another accuser, Cecil Singleton, accused Clash of sexually abusing him when he was 15 years old. A bunch of lawsuits were filed, and he resigned from Sesame Street and stopped voicing Elmo in a statement that said, quote, "Personal matters have diverted attention away from the important work Sesame Street is doing, and I cannot allow it to go on any longer. I'm deeply sorry to be leaving, and I'm looking forward to resolving these personal matters privately." And Sesame Workshop also released a statement. Unfortunately, the controversy surrounding Kevin's personal life has become a distraction that none of us want, and he's concluded that he can no longer be effective in his job and has resigned from Sesame Street. Other puppeteers have been trained to serve as his understudy and will take over his roles on the show. So in July of 2013, there were 3 cases against him, and they were all dismissed because the statute of limitations had run out. So the claims it was ruled that the claims were made more than 6 years after each man reasonably should have become aware of his alleged violations during the 3 years after each had turned 18. So that's like is Pyrrhic victory the right phrase that I'm looking for?
I don't know what that means.
Hold on.
I thought that was a piercing that you got.
A Pyrrhic victory is a success that inflicts a devastating toll on the victor. So like to have it be like, we're not going to say whether you diddled those boys or not, but oops, they didn't sue fast enough. So I guess you're innocent.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this was all in 2013, 2014. And here's what I want to talk about, Kyle. So around that same time, he publicly revealed that he was homosexual.
Oh, this is the Kevin Spacey defense.
He said, quote, "I am a gay man. I have never been ashamed of this or tried to hide it, but felt it was a personal and private matter," which is wild because he was in a heterosexual marriage for 17 years that included a child.
Yeah, so he did try to hide it a little bit.
A little bit. Also, he said, "I'm a gay man." He didn't say I'm a bi man, which I don't like, it doesn't matter. But where I want to go with this, Kyle, though, is I didn't think at the time to question this any further than the facts presented. To me, I was like, oh, yeah, pedophile is into puppets and gets a job as like the most famous puppet. And of course, he diddled a bunch of teenagers, like or younger. Like I'm sort of ashamed by the internalized homophobia of the whole thing that I was just like, yeah, this whole story checks out. Sure.
Because of his profession specifically?
Because of his profession and his weird, like in the closet, but like then did the Kevin Spacey defense. It just all, yeah. It just seems a little weird for a grown ass man to be like doing a baby voice puppet.
Well,
and where I want to land, I guess, is that he has apparently been mostly exonerated. Not only exonerated because all of those cases were sort of re-examined and determined to be either opportunistic or misrepresentation, but also he's like back to doing puppetry work. Like he's his career obviously suffered a huge blow in the middle there, but like he's performed in the film The Happy Time Murders in 2018, directed by Brian Henson and co-produced through Henson Alternative. He puppeteered in the 2019 Netflix series The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, which serves as a prequel to the 1982 Jim Henson film The Dark Crystal. He's working, and like that was a big rough like period of time, but apparently he didn't do those things and didn't deserve my weird, shameful like feelings about the whole situation. And I don't know, I feel bad, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Just because you work with puppets or work with children doesn't automatically mean you're going to be some kind of sex offender, which is like, I feel like what the right thinks when they see drag queens doing like, kids events, when it's like, no, they're literally reading your child a story in a dress. It's fine.
Yep. Absolutely. I totally agree. I think that it's just like the right wants that to be true so bad that I sometimes believe it too. And that's really shitty.
Yeah. Oh, well, good to catch yourself on it and hopefully adjust your feelings about puppeteers. I'm
going to adjust my feelings about puppeteers. But yeah, that's Tickle Me Elmo and the whole thing about the man behind the tickling.
I'm going to read and ask Reddit.
Okay,
that I want us to talk about it. Okay. This is called My Boyfriend's Bisexual Best Friend Tickles Him. This is supposed
Was there a question mark at the end of that?
There was a question mark at the end of that, which I only realized halfway through reading it. So I had to change my inflection as I was going. I'm glad that came across though in the audio. Thanks. I'm a professional at this. I've been doing this for how long have we been doing this for? I forget. 8 years?
It feels like more.
Great. So happy to be here with you, Mike. This was posted to Ask Gay Bros by Throw RA 7894561. And here is what they posted. Is it just me, or does anyone else find this weird? That was a question mark that I didn't read very well. Find this weird? I always saw tickling as more of a flirty thing. I asked straight male friends/family if they've ever seen or done it or had it done to them before, and all of them said they'd never do that with a friend. The only people I've ever tickled or had tickled me were people I thought were cute, and only if they were okay with it, of course. So I don't if I'm being crazy or just haven't asked enough people, or if that's not okay and his best friend is trying to steal my guy. I already addressed the issue with my boyfriend, and he says that his best friend does that with everybody, although I've only ever seen him tickle my boyfriend. His best friend also says he's not really into guys, only like 1%. Which the 1% could just be my boyfriend for all I know. So that doesn't really make me feel better, really. My boyfriend says he understands how it looks and that he actually never liked it either. And whenever he tells his best friend to stop, he continues to do it anyway. They still hang out together, and my boyfriend promised to put his foot down for sure and tell his best friend he needs to stop because it's making me uncomfortable and he doesn't like it too. The thought that they might still be having tickle fights together when they hang out bothers me. Tickle fight. That sounds like Zoolander. Like, I've never seen my boyfriend go out of his way to touch his best friend. However, if I found out the best friend was still doing it anyway, I'm not sure what to do about it either.
Yeah. Okay.
What are your reactions? Give me your hot takes on this.
First of all, straight girls, I calm down. I like the jealousy that you are told to have about the situation with your men is just like I hate it. I hate it so much. Just stop. And yeah, so that's one. Another one is like, yeah, my guess is the boyfriend is into it. Because like if he actually wasn't into it and like really, really hated it, then he would put a stop to it or wouldn't be friends with that person anymore. And in any case, it is for sure on the boyfriend, not the best friend, to like do something about this situation if something needs to be done. And this is more like straight girl bullshit of like, it's not the best friend's thing. Like put the focus on your man because that's the person you're in a relationship with, not the best friend.
I agree that I think if the boyfriend really didn't want to be tickled, this would have ended by now.
Yeah.
Or you're right that the friendship would have ended. Like if I told you like, stop doing this thing you do makes me uncomfortable, and it was a reasonable request, and you kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it, and I kept telling you to stop, and I like would leave whenever you did it, and I like if it like we would stop being friends at some point because it would just get in the way of I don't know that the boyfriend actually cares if this stops or not.
Well, it's not like you're saying like, stop looking at me or stop referring to me by anything but Rupert, which isn't your name. It's like, stop invading my personal space and like doing this thing. Like that's a real easy thing to stop. And if it's not an easy thing to stop, then like, I don't know. Anyway,
you got some serious issues. Yeah.
Issues.
Yeah. I think you're right that it's about your relationship with your boyfriend, not the boyfriend's friend. And I don't know. Here are some of the responses. First, don't ever jump to conclusions without solid evidence. Trust and communication is important.
Okay. Sounds like there is solid evidence, but okay.
Well, there's evidence of tickling, but I think she's worried that he's cheating.
Yeah. Got to stop that.
Yeah. If you try to drive a wedge between your boyfriend and his best friend, you'll find yourself either on the outs or with a boyfriend who resents you. This sounds rather homoerotic, but there's no reason I suspect it goes any further.
I think there's a third option, though, which is he continues the relationship with the best friend behind your back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Which that's like the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
It's the worst of both worlds. Someone else said, when I was in a male boarding house, there were 8 guys in the house, including me. When I was in college, I didn't remember what started it, but we sort of hung out and stuff, and it ended up all of them tickling me until I have tears in my eyes dying from laughing. They didn't know I was gay at the time, and I didn't think that was the reason also. Thanks for the story, bro.
Yeah.
But that makes me think, is this, and the previous comment that mentioned it sounds homoerotic, is this something that happened in the fraternity? Did people tickle each other?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm not willing to rule it out, though.
That disappoints me, because I imagine, like sorority, I imagine fraternities much like I imagine sorority houses, like tickle fights and pillow fights.
Sure. Always shirtless.
Always shirtless. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Big bulges.
Yeah.
Heaving bosoms in both cases. The next column.
Well, hold on. Back to this person. So is this saying that like tickling was my gay awakening? Is that the subtext there?
I think that he's trying to say that when a bunch of dudes get together, they tickle.
Okay.
I don't think the gay thing was. It seemed like it was unrelated. Okay. I think the bigger point was at a male boarding house, a bunch of dudes were hanging out and they tickle each other. So I think he's trying to say like it's normal for dudes to get together and tickle each other.
Sure. Just a bunch of dudes.
Just dudes being dudes, just tickling each other. Okay. The last comment is, my sister's boyfriend literally kisses his best buddies on the forehead, and they all hug and tickle each other and tell each other they love them. As far as we all know, he's straight. They're all just a bunch of wholesome teddy bears. Men of every sexual orientation and gender identity are learning to be more openly affectionate with one another. And I think that's a fucking awesome thing. Don't think too much about it. Otherwise, you're going to make your boyfriend resent you for picking fights with his bestie. Do you think this is just wholesome male affection that we're demonizing because we don't let men show affection with each other?
Spell wholesome. I hope that it is true. I don't think it's actually true, but I hope that it's true that we're turning the tide against toxic masculinity and making it okay for dudes to show physical affection to each other without it saying anything about their sexuality. I think that we joke, but also I think it's a real sad actual commentary on straight dudedom, that like they're not allowed to touch each other beyond high fives or it's gay, and that's stupid and sucks, and I think probably makes their lives worse.
Yeah.
So I hope it's true, but I don't know if I think that person is overstating the improvement.
You don't think that we've made the advancements that they think we have?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think tickling is a show of male affection that we demonize?
Well, I stopped dating somebody because of it. So
what?
Yeah.
Good? No. Okay. You have to talk more about this.
Yeah.
Go on.
You have to beep his name, but he would tickle me pretty regularly, and that was a non-zero percentage of like the reason like that I stopped seeing him.
I did not know this.
Yeah, and to him, I think he thought he was just showing affection. He's being playful and like it was affection. It was a sign of affection for him. That's just not how I took it, because I hate it.
Did you tell him this?
Well, no, not really.
Oh, okay. But this does not help the Reddit poster, because you were dating this guy and he tickled you. So that puts a point in the like there's something going on between them column.
Yep. Well, and being a kid too, I remember like having confusing feelings about other boys, and like tickling is one way to get to touch people. Like, a tickle fight, a roughhousing, all of those are like ways to like be in physical contact, and like that's not great.
You sound like you're more getting to the side of the girlfriend, like tickling this bisexual tickle guy is trying to hit on him.
Maybe he is. I like that's fine. I think that like the girlfriend needs to grow a pair and like not worry, but draw some boundaries. Like,
do you think she's allowed to say your best friend is not allowed to tickle you anymore? Do you think she should be able to say that?
I think that she should be able to say that, and he should be able to say, like, that's a deal breaker for me or not.
I think she's reading too much into it.
I mean, yeah, probably. And I don't know, like, so he tickles him, like, so he wants to fuck him. Talk to your boyfriend. Like, it's he's the one you're in a relationship with. He's the one that you have to figure out the boundaries of. He's the one that may or may not be gay. Like, that's a thing you should probably find out. Like, communicate, people. Yeah,
communicate with your boyfriend for sure. That's Ask Reddit.
All right. Well, I have 20 ways to tickle your partner by Alexander Cheeves, who is known in the kink and leather community as Beastly. He's also hot.
Would you let him tickle you?
Yeah. 100%. His Twitter is @BadAlexCheeves. Anyway, in 2018, he wrote this article, 20 Ways to Tickle Your Partner, and I'm just going to run through them real quick in case you needed help. I don't know.
Yeah, if you needed advice on how to tickle your partner, because I wouldn't think it would be that hard. I wouldn't have thought that we would need advice on how to do this.
If it's not that hard, you need advice. Number one, focus on common human tickle zones.
Okay.
So armpits, rib cage, elbows, knees, ears, neck, sometimes in the groin area.
Maybe your testicles are ticklish.
He says the same thing that psychologist said from the history section. Our weak spots, places where we are generally most vulnerable in combat, are usually where we are most ticklish. Also, most scientists agree that tickling is only pleasurable between two people that have some predefined relationship.
Yeah.
It's hard to be tickled by a stranger. It will simply feel like assault. Number two, start with your hands. Your fingers are capable of delivering pain, pleasure, and everything in between. Number three, remember when someone breathed on your neck and it tickled, but in a good way? Use that.
Ooh, breathe on me, like the Britney Spears song.
Yeah. Breath, especially on the neck and earlobe area, is a major tickle spot for a lot of people.
I know people are into that. So sometimes guys will lick my ear and then breathe on it, and it does nothing for me. And I want to reward them for the effort because that's like putting in effort trying to turn me on, but it's not doing it for me. So like I want to reward that behavior, but like redirect it somehow. It's rough. Maybe
we should get like little poker chips made that say good effort, but no. And you can just hand those out.
Or just like swing and a miss. Good eye. I don't know.
Number four, small blunt objects. So back scratchers, hairbrushes, combs can be very ticklish. Q-tips and pencils can be really ticklish, but nothing that will puncture the skin.
Smart. Yep. Don't stab them on accident.
Number five is try an electric toothbrush. Apparently, a lot of lers and lees find electric toothbrushes to be very effective, but don't use your nice toothbrush.
Do you have I only have one electric toothbrush.
I have multiple heads.
Oh, I was assuming they meant the bottom part of it.
No, they mean the brush part.
Oh, like put the brush on them?
Yeah.
I'd be like, why the fuck are you cleaning me? Like, no, I don't.
What if it tickled real good, though?
I don't know. Maybe.
Number six is feathers. Feathers are your friends. So that's classic old school tickling. You can find them online. Large soft feathers like ostrich or peacock cover more skin area. Number 7, the tongue is a fantastic tickle tool, and there's a hot guy with his tongue out as a picture next to it.
Nice.
Try tongue on neck or earlobe. Number 8, breathes new life into your old paintbrushes and makeup brushes. So soft, delicate taps with a paintbrush can be very ticklish. Add paint if you want to get sloppy.
Oh.
And number 9, master the love bite.
I just realized I don't like people touching my feet in general because I think my feet are gross. So I don't want people tickling my feet, but I also don't want them doing anything to my feet.
Okay.
I don't know that I would be a good Lee.
I mean, I thought we'd already established that, I thought, but...
Oh, we did? Okay. That's never mind.
You don't like to be tickled? Or don't?
Yeah, but like specifically about the feet thing.
The feet thing, yeah. Yeah, the feet thing is interesting. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum at all. I just don't get it. But I don't think my feet are gross. I think like freshly washed, freshly bathed, like do whatever you want to my feet. It's fine. I'm not going to get much out of it, but if like some dudes are really into it, and that's fine.
Someone really wanted to. Someone once wanted me to bring or to wear like used socks, like lived in socks, and I was like, fuck, I don't wear socks around. I only put on socks to like go take Reynolds for a walk. So I don't have like socks that I've been wearing all day to give that day long sock smell kind of thing. It was, I didn't satisfy that itch for him, unfortunately.
It wasn't meant to be.
No, it wasn't mentally.
Oh, that's funny.
Thanks.
Number 9, master the love bite. So running teeth gently on skin without biting hard can be very arousing and very ticklish. I love using teeth on nipples. And then it talks about hickeys, which I don't do that to me. I don't understand. Like, I guess for some people, hickeys are like, the point is to mark somebody and for them to feel marked. And I don't like that. Number 10, buy a Wartenberg wheel, a Wattenbuch wheel, or pinwheel. You know, it's like the little disc that has like needles coming out of it.
This sounds like something in Saw. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is very like Hellraiser. The wheel, it's a wheel that spins that has a handle so that you can run it over things like a pizza cutter that has spikes.
Got it.
And it was invented by Robert Wattenberg in the 19th century to test nerve reactions, but apparently the wheel is like next level because they are sharp, just not enough to pierce the skin if you're careful.
All of these tips seem to be focused on the items used to tickle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Also, like some of them seem slightly repetitive. I don't know. Like paintbrushes, how's that different than toothbrushes? Anyway. Number 7, experiment with vibration toys. Any dildo that vibrates, vibrating phallic shaped sex toys, that they are good at creating tickling sensations, especially on the skin in the groin area.
Again, ticklish testicles.
Number 12, play footsie. Apparently foot on foot action for being tickling each other is a thing. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Number 13, break the ice. Place an ice cube on your partner's skin. It can be very stimulating and very ticklish for some, especially if you use your mouth also.
Oh.
Number 14, role play as a naughty housemaid with your feather duster.
That seems like good advice for like straight couples.
Yeah.
Or like femboys.
Yeah, femboys.
Yeah.
Okay, this is weird. Number 15, the ethically uncomfortable involvement of animals.
Oh, no. Okay. I was recently hooking up with a dude and Reynolds licked my foot while I was hooking up with him. And it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to say anything to ruin the moment with a guy, but I also wanted Reynolds to get the fuck out of there because he's not part of this. Yeah. And so it was like, it was real weird.
This is Daddy's special no time, Reynolds. Go away.
This is I place you in your bed for a reason, and that's so you don't get involved with what's happening. And then whenever we get off the bed and like, clean up or like give him a towel, and Reynolds gets on the bed and starts like licking and stuff.
Oh no.
I know. It's gross. Sorry, that was a disgusting thing that I just said. But it's a true thing that happens.
We're learning so much, Kyle.
I know. Mike, after all these years, we're still learning stuff about each other.
I know. It's magical, right?
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Number 16, teeny tiny legs. You can find many tickle fetish stores on the internet. Stories. You can find many tickle fetish stories on the internet about people getting covered in ants. Formicophilia is a form of zoophilia. People with formicophilia often enjoy bugs and other small insects crawling and nibbling on them, and the desired effect is often to be tickled or to force someone else to experience this tickling as a form of sadism.
Nope. Sorry. I don't, while I don't like yucking people's yums, ants
did not consent.
Or I don't, this one really threw me for a loop. I did not expect ants to be a part of our tickle episode.
Okay. Well,
I don't like this.
Number 17, the skin responds to massage oils experiment. So apparently different essential oils can make skin more or less sensitive to tickling than others. And in fact, a lot of people use baby oil as part of their tickling fetishism because it makes skin more sensitive.
I like this advice way better than the ant one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mix those either. But they probably get stuck.
Oh, God. Okay.
18, E-stim is ticklish too. Electrical stimulation, apparently really, really low voltage E-stim jolts can be ticklish to some people, especially if the electrodes are placed on the thighs, butt, or feet. Also says, note, safety first, never play with E-stim anywhere near the heart line, which is an imaginary line drawn between the nipples and around the chest and back.
Oh, I didn't.
Number 19, bound and gagged tickling. When you add bondage, tickling becomes a form of sadism, fits great in a BDSM scene, doesn't leave a mark, submissives recover quickly, but it does make someone helpless. And if you're into piss, try tickle play, as aggressive, sustained tickling often makes people pee.
I never thought about the connection between piss play and tickling. But now I will.
You tickle them so that they piss, so that you enjoy that.
Hopefully you're into both. That would be nice. What a good combination if you're into both things.
And number 20, I think this is valid. Some people are just not very ticklish. So, like one piece of advice is don't try too hard or don't force it if it isn't happening, which I think is really good advice in general. Just don't tickle somebody if they're not into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, some people need to learn how to calm down, relax, be in a more trusting environment. But some
give
people
up control in your case, maybe
so. But some people legit just aren't into it, so stop it.
Yeah, true.
Did we do it? We talked about tickling a whole bunch. This is turning into a longer episode.
I didn't know we had so much to say about tickling. But is it gay? We didn't talk about a lot of gay stuff about tickling.
I think tickling could be a gateway drug.
Go on.
I think that there's I said it earlier in the episode, but I keep thinking about, like, I was slightly into tickling for a hot minute when I was in like junior high because it gave me an excuse to touch the other boys. And I think that part's kind of gay. And then the whole thing about like the girlfriend with is my boyfriend gay because lets his best friend tickle him.
There's something homoerotic. That is one of the comments that I read, is that there's something homoerotic about tickling. And I think that's true.
And I think it's mask in a way. Like I just have a hard time seeing men and women tickling each other. And it just seems like a thing that dudes do.
I don't see anyone tickling anyone. I'm an adult who doesn't witness a lot of tickling in my life. This doesn't come up that much for me. So I don't have that much of a frame of reference, but like I could see how it could be homoerotic. I could see how it could be something like the comment in Reddit was that at a boarding house, it's what all the dudes did to each other. There's something homoerotic about tickling, I guess, is the takeaway. I don't know that it's outright gay, but homoerotic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you. I agree.
Okay.
We did it.
We did it.
When we take a break, you're going to talk about rat tickling,
I'm going to talk about rat tickling.
Hopefully not a sex position. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Tickle. Break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're going to do, I have to pee so bad. I should have done that before we came back. We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, hey everybody.
Hey.
We're going on a cruise. You should come with us.
Yeah, gayishpodcast.com/cruise for all the details.
Yeah, it's in February of 2027, so you've got some time to figure it out. But sign up now.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on social media at Gayish Podcast, or you can go to gayishpodcast.com/contact to see our link to our Discord server or our Facebook group or all the places you can find us.
Yeah, our hotline where our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply. Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com. Our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109. It's 4 R's time, everybody. Rate, review, subscribe, and recommend. All of those things help us out tremendously, and they cost you nothing, so fucking do it, you lazy asshole.
Yeah, it was so nice at first. Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't asked you to do it in a while. So if you are one of those people, I know who you are because they give me your address if you don't rate. I will show up to your house if you don't do it. Oh, some people would want that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whichever one of us you like the least will show up at your house.
And why is it me? That's rude of you. That's really offensive that you picked me as the least. That's funny that every person has a favorite, and it's one of us.
It's one of us. Or no, it's probably Derek. You know that.
Ah, shit. You're right. Fuck Derek. He's fired. Okay. Should I do my gayest and straightest?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. My gayest is turning on my AC for the season. It's been really warm, and I feel like trying to not be affected by the elements and trying to adjust the climate of your home is gay.
You're kind of being a princess a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, totally. Yeah. My straightest is I wrote down wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row, but it turned into 3 after so wearing the same shirt 3 days in a row is my straightest.
Oh, that's fantastic. It is laundry is just not doing laundry is a straight thing. It really is. And
working from home, who cares? No one's, it's not like tons of people are seeing me and seeing what shirt I'm wearing. So, things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you?
Well, the straightest thing about me this week is I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and my very black waiter kept calling me boss man. And
cool.
I didn't know how to feel about that, but it also felt very bro-y.
Yeah.
What do you have, boss man? I was like, I don't know. I was like,
you don't embody the boss man mentality.
Well, but also all of my white guilt came crashing in. I don't know. But the gayest thing about me this week is I was really hoping that he was somehow hitting on me because he was hot as hell. He was beefy and tall. He had painted nails and fun necklaces, and he was beautiful. So I was like, you can call me whatever you want to, sweetheart.
Did you hook up?
No.
Oh.
No. I just ate and went home lonely in my hotel.
Okay. Loneliness in your butthole. Back to the Patreon. No, not the Patreon. Back to the intro. Yeah. We have a listener's Gayest and Straightest. This is from Bobby from Michigan.
Hello, Gayish. This is Bobby from Michigan. I'm calling in with my Gayest and Straightest. I'm not 100% sure about my gayest, but I do know that my straightest is going out into the woods and using guns to blink at different targets and stuff that we have. Firing a 22 revolver, an old one. That's the straightest. Hanging out with like my brothers and everyone else, and just having a good old time on the weekend. And my gayest, let's see. I think it would probably have to be. Yes. I think it would have to be explaining the difference between docking and sounding to a friend of mine. Yeah, they were using the terms just interchangeably, and I'm like, no, hon, there is a distinct difference between both of those, and this is how they work. Needless to say, they were thoroughly disgusted. Anyway, love the podcast. Keep up the great work that you guys do, and yeah, bye.
Okay, well, thanks, Bobby. Thanks for calling in. I do think that being a like gay vocab connoisseur, what's the expert?
Ambassador?
Being a subject matter expert, being an ambassador for gay vocab, that is pretty fucking gay.
And anything you describe as a good old time, like that's definitely straight.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, and guns are pretty straight. So
gun things for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we did it. We tickled. We happy Pride, everybody. We talked
Happy
about
Pride
that in the Patreon segment a little bit. It's Pride this weekend in Seattle and lots of places in the country. So be safe and have fun.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of the Elmos that got tickled.
Thanks to the lers and the lees and the verses or the switches. I don't know how they identify, but
I don't either.
Thanks to all of them. And thank you to our super gappers. Thank you to Locomotive, Simon Srirachi, Kaylee Adams, Kit Oliver, Kobe Gordon, Squoggle, Pip, Andrew Bugby, William Bryant, John Crowley, Stephen Porch, Yost Osel, Jonathan Montanius, Forrest Nail, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Michael Covington, Thomas B, Dusty Sands, Egg Holman, Chris Cacciatorians, Jerome York, and Cian and Hobby. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your money. That's it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cacciatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See ya.
See ya. Okay, so if I stand really still while I'm thinking, do you just think that the internet is bad?
I do think that you have frozen sometimes if you just stop.
Okay, good.